What's up guys, Hades here. So today I have a really cool video. We played an IB match just this week against XGV and man was it fun. I had a blast. I scored an insane amount of points. These guys are strong, you know, maxed out shadow teams, holy teams, the works. Here's some context so when we're reviewing the game you can kind of see who's strong, who's not so strong, and kind of how my build's doing. There is some creative Alex Bjorn teams that were very tough. I had to make some adjustments on my Poseidon to make it work. This player beat me multiple times. As you can see here, Alex is just doing absolute work. The reduction that Bjorn is doing just makes Alex completely pop off. The Himiko takes away part of your healing and he's using it kind of like a support. So it's very interesting, and it was very difficult for my team in specific. There are some big whales here that I, held my own against. This guy beat me more often than not. This was one of the better reports. I actually ended up doing 83 million, which is kind of crazy because I'm using Fighting Master in this report instead of Battle Stance. And you can see here, I'm making swaps all the time. Here's my Poseidon. Oh, I think I changed it here maybe? Yeah, here I changed it here. I was making swaps here and there, and I had to adjust or I was going to die, right? Here's another one of the higher tier players with another weird Alex build. This build beat me once or twice, and this set of 3 was something I haven't seen a lot. Actually, I don't think I've ever seen it, but it worked really well. This is not the exact report, but he beat me with that one once with the interesting kin, but I have a counter to the wound. A couple more reports here. Very strange teams. These are some of the teams I've never experienced, and a YSS with an Alex in a very similar team, and again the Alex just doing too much, right? And me not having the ability to start fighting early means he gets to essentially take an early advantage, and a 1 carry versus 1 carry, he wins. That's just what happens. And then here's their Mega Whale in his seconds. Where's the main? There's the main. This team was very difficult to fight, but not impossible. I believe I got a win or a tie here. Yeah, I got a timeout against that team. This team is insane. I kind of want to show you guys what this looks like. The Shadow team with all chaos is kind of nuts. It's almost like a tempo team. Well, it could be with just the chain silence. If you're not holding Fighting Master on Poseidon or on your main carry, you're gonna have a hard time, right? Because you're gonna see here, dragon's gonna come down, boom, silenced. I can't move. I'm battle stanced, and then I'm just silenced forever. And you can see here in this moment, this is actually good. Like his Poseidon ulted way before mine, so he gets first hit. My backline's nearly dead, and then the game's over, and I got confused, and then boom, GG. You die so fast. If his Shadow Dragon hits the Poseidon, you instantly lose. If it hits other things, you have a chance. Yeah, let's jump into the match. All right, jumping into the match. We are very much an IB League team. We have a few strong players, but most of the strong players are in AOW. So this is a very hard match for multiple reasons. 1, their whales are bigger. 2, they just have more players. So my goal this game was to have fun. Seriously, this was my, I was smiling. I'm like, I'm going to kill as many people and as many troops as possible. And I absolutely did that. So I'm here and I go, I don't want to risk anything up here. They have more people. We decided not to go Tower 1 and to fight for middle because they just ditched it. The macro they had was terrible. Just straight up, their macro was terrible. They should have absolutely crushed us with the personnel they had. We only have a handful of strong players. And I actually delayed my reload and went here. So we realized it was looking a little weak. in this game mode, it's very different than IB League. I would never do this in IB League because 3 versus 4 with even troops, you're never winning. But in when you're using your real march, I can clear this tower. I can clear people as fast as I want. And I'm going to jump to specific important points so that this isn't a boring video. But I have a few key takeaways on how to optimize kind of your potential, right? Now, if you're stronger than your opponent, you're going to have matches where the opponent is just weaker than you. And it doesn't matter what strength your marches are, but you're just going to find these matches. The important point is finding those you can beat. So I figured out I could beat this player with a second march, and I could beat this player with a different march. So I'm getting double value. I'm not just optimizing my main. And then, of course, you have to find a way to close the gap, right? So we have this really large gap, and we find a way to close the gap. Now, it's at this point when we say, okay, we're not going to win this position. And you can see in the reports, this is the player's march I struggled against, but every other player here I could beat. And you'll see once my allies get ported, I actually last here for a very, very significant amount of time. I'm actually going to push to that moment right about here. I start to get focused after him. I think in theory, I probably should have, I told him right there I meant to defend him. I got distracted because I was sending my reload back to middle. And then I was late. Not perfect, there's a lot to do. And I was very much focused on keeping myself alive because my castle is the most important thing. Now, they actually make a good decision here. And their decision is to rally. They're sending tons of solo. I'm getting tons and tons and tons of points here. And you can see that I'm going to start to block a couple of rallies. Full rallies, 5-man rallies. And I get to a point where I'm like, you know what? It's not working. I want to move back into position that's more defensive. Or maybe I go back to home. I don't remember. Maybe it got canceled. Either way, I block a rally and they slow down. But guess what? Look how many people I have distracted here. If they leave, if the strong players leave, I'm going to take this. If they don't leave, then they're just not helping the other players on the map. So I have the attention of almost 10 people for free, right? And then I start to get in some counter hits here. I decided that it would be more valuable that I get solos than to care about my HP. My HP at this point doesn't matter. I'm never going to actually take this. I only have one strong march. And I make an adjustment. You saw there, I made an adjustment on my Poseidon. I switched around some skills. I made some swaps. And look, the solos are flowing in. But they're surrounding. I don't have a way in. Any one of these players who are dead or spawning in late can just come and help. Macro in this game doesn't matter that much, except the fact that they gave us mid for free and we held it for a while. We have access to our home and we did win the bottom, which was very interesting. The problem is the lack of players. You can see here we have 20 and they have 38. So we're actually playing 2-to-1 almost everywhere. And keep in mind, we have no serious like Mega Whales with 8-8 Holy Dragon. We have a handful of strong players. This player is very strong. I can, only match him once in a while. But these kind of players, we just can't handle them. They have too many. So we're going to have to make a lot of sacrifices in this game. And I believe I got ported here. Yeah, so I get ported here. And I move myself towards the center. And what did I do after? Oh, I ended up TPing here, yeah. I teleported to the middle. Unbeknownst to me how strong some of these opponents were. This guy could barely handle. And they had actually already overrun this position. Could barely handle this guy. This is one of their strongest. He TPs in and just starts focusing us. I can't do diddly against this guy. So the play is broken. I actually waste my TP here. This is my first major mistake. TPing into the middle when you cannot obtain it is a massive waste. Where would my TP have been better, right? Well, defending the top might have been better. Making sure my home tower doesn't get taken might have been better. Making sure the bottom tower is secured might have been better. Actually, 2 of these would have been better. In retrospect, I should have TP'd right there or just walked here, because I end up walking here anyways. This is my relocation. And then I'm going to end up battling these guys for the next 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes anyways. I can beat him, he's strong. I can barely beat him, he's strong. But a lot of my teammates can't handle them. This player's super strong. We could beat him with rallies and he can't take the turret by himself. And we have infinite resources to come back, right? If he ports me, I'm back in 2 minutes. But the point is, I was here late. I should have TP'd that guy earlier. I should have then focused on this guy next. I end up killing the guy on the right here. Then killing this guy on the left. Then finishing this one. And I'm like, okay, do we have enough players here to hold this? And I thought, yeah, 4 versus 10, 11. Sure, we can hold this. I throw in some solos. Deny them the tower, they keep going for it, and we should win this over time. But then this guy shows up again, didn't realize how strong they were. And you're gonna see here, I'm gonna skip forward just a little bit. I actually make a play down to the bottom. I'm like, okay, cool. We got this. I like got this guy half, this guy's low. We can handle this. We can handle this, right? Because I realized we had to get this tower or we were gonna lose for sure, right? Because we were still up in points at this point, and we had to rotate for a 3rd tower. And I knew in the back of my mind, in the core of my gut, I knew leaving this position would be bad. I knew we were probably gonna lose it, but we could hold it. I thought we could hold it. Turns out I was wrong, but instinctually I was correct, because we were gonna lose on points in the next 20 minutes. If we don't take a third tower and hold it, we will lose 100%. There's no doubt in my mind. So now I'm in a 2v3 because we have another player here. This is not a super strong account. Then we have a medium account, so it's a 3v3. And you're gonna see here, this is a really well played fight by us. I'm sending a second over here to hit this guy. I'm sending my main at this guy and he bubbles and I'm delayed, and I send my main at this guy and I'm instant recalling and speeding and instant recalling and speeding non-stop because I have to, and if I don't, we're gonna lose, right? We're 2-1. It's still 22-40. This is a position we can win. I say defend my tower. This was a mistake. I think this is probably the second biggest mistake I made, was not getting my relocation closer, because I'm stuck with this super long travel time. Even if I speed it up and recall, the travel time is problematic. I should have let Tick move first, defend him, then move mine closer, and probably put it more in this location. I don't know what I was thinking. It was dumb. I admit it was dumb. I'm realizing it in a replay that it was dumb, and I think it's valuable that players evaluate their own play after a match, or get feedback on their play after a match. Why did you do this? Why didn't you do this? How come you didn't do this? These kind of questions, right? So we get a little more support. We lock this down, but guess what? I traded that tower for this tower, right? So now we're stuck in the same situation. We only own 3, and we just don't have what it takes to take this back. We're getting a little bit of chunks. We're getting some nice hits, but there was a reborn. This guy is unmovable. He's not exerting himself the way he probably should be. He should be smacking people until they die. I don't think anyone on our team could actually handle his main march. But I'm doing my best, right? And I'm like, okay, you guys defend this, block reloads, don't let him in. I'm leaving, right? This is my game style. This is my play style. I want to be hyperactive. I want to move around the map. And sure enough, I move, and guess who moved with me? Yes, the super strong player. This is the problem with not knowing quite the impact of the whales and how strong they are. He ditched this because he's like, oh yeah, we won, right? They won this, that's theirs. And he came back, so he played well and he rotated well. And now I'm here just like, oh, whoops. 3rd huge mistake of the game. I should not have gone to their center if I had seen him. I should have just canceled and stayed here, because this becomes a battle that we barely can hold on to. But, you know, it's all kind of for naught. We're down 7,000, 6, 7, 8,000. There's not a whole lot we can do. They own the top, they own their home, they own our home. But it was fun. I had a great time playing. I want to show you just a little bit of the stats before we finish this video. Contribution, I crushed it. Huge impact. They've definitely felt my presence. The two big ones for me are contribution and either troops killed or troops wounded. They're very similar. But I was just having my way. My build was strong. My adaptations were strong, and I really optimized the attack talent, getting that bleed damage. I was taking troops with me. No matter what, I was getting good value, good trades. I was finding optimizations. And I wasn't just using my main, I was using my second and my third, which very often are quite weak. Now, I would say I actually value Prosperity Destroyed at number 2. My Prosperity Destroyed was very poor this game. The main problem for that was I was the center of attention, which means I was mostly soaking damage with my main. It is what it is, and I don't have a second team, and I didn't really have rally teammates to look for more value on HP trades. A lot of this was just solo hits, but I'm not unhappy with this number. It's a solid number, and you can see here, of course, I did my very best, but sometimes that's all you can do. But yeah, if you like these kind of videos, let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.